I bring the sky blues and all that jazz. Man, even at my worst, all in all, ain't really all that bad. I stay at it till my status is Gladys, plus the last bit of Billie Holly's name. Yep, day and night, say it right. And don't ever question my methods, I'm the answer, I'm the government. Phone tap dancing around the issue, and I wish you would get frisky with me. Crooked
Oh, okay, so introduce yourself to the people.
Hello, people. My name is Teake. I'm from New England. I've had dreads about 6 years now.
2010 was my last haircut. Yours are so long, though.
Yeah, my hair grows really quickly. That's why I got dreads in the first place, because I needed to get it cut like every week, or else it would overflow. So I figured I would just let it keep going, doing something. When I finally started these 6 years ago, that's when I knew I was ready. I feel like everyone kind of knows when it's time. So. Yeah, I went to Harvard. I graduated 4 years ago. 4 years ago, 2012. So I went into Harvard with no dreads, just kind of like a short afro and not very conspicuous, I guess. But then by the end, I was already 2 years into growth, so it was like easy to spot me in the crowd at Harvard by the end of it. But reactions have generally been positive, and even if they weren't, I'm doing it for me. I'm not really doing it for a reaction, so I don't pay too much attention. It's usually curiosity. People who have dreads will come up and compliment the dreads on their maintenance and the style, and then people who don't have dreads and could never even conceive of dreads, they compliment it from another angle, which is just like, wow, that's amazing. I can't even understand what's going on in your head, and I take that all in stride. It's all it's all love, whether it's coming from someone who's a dread fanatic or someone who's just curious. Like I take that. I'll take either of those. Like, how does it grow like that? Like, that's the biggest question. Yeah. And I'm like, don't worry about it.
It's fine. It's happening. It's my reality.
Yeah.
Like, I've been doing some reading about this spiritual aspect of dreads, and tell me what your theory is about that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've read some little ideas about that, about hair being a way to be more sensitive to your surroundings and whatnot. I don't know. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not.
Yeah.
I feel like you could read into it however you want. If I ever mention maybe I'll cut my dreads, people will be like, no, you can't do that. You'll be like, who's that? Samson? Was he the one who lost the hair?
Yeah.
They say you'll lose your power. As my hair grows out, I don't think I'm growing out more sensitivity or more energy. Maybe it's true. Maybe not. Maybe it's not. But for me, all I know for certain is I'm growing out kind of like memories and experiences, because I could literally take a strand and be like, all right, yeah, like that was 3 years ago when something was going on. So if it's anything, it's just about like continuing this journey with my hair and adding more memories, more experiences, and that's it.
I went to Yale, and I was having a really tough time my senior year. I was just trying to graduate. And I remember my mom being like, you keep reliving these past memories. You can't seem to let them go. You should cut your hair off. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. And so I had this one day when she and I sat together and we washed my hair together as an attempt to escape from these past memories. So I agree that your hair kind of holds a history.
Yeah, it's personal. It's whatever meaning you give to it. As far as that, as giving memories and history and experiences, it's kind of what you bring up is a interesting point, because it can have both positive. You can have positive or negative experiences. I never really thought of that, and but I take that in stride, and I appreciate the fact that all this stuff has happened in 6 years, and it's locked into there.
Yeah.
Because I've had some crazy times too. I remember my senior year, probably not the same, but similar experiences. There were some hardships, some difficult questions, and times that I would not want to relive at all. And that's locked into here too. But it's you got to take the good and the bad. I don't have any regrets. So the good and the bad, I'm glad it's all locked in.
Yeah, show us the hair.
Yeah. So normally I just get it. I go to a loctician.
Okay. Do you know how to do it yourself, or you just other people do it for you?
Yeah, I go to a loctician. I go to a stylist probably once every 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I twisted on my own. But I just went there about a week ago, and she did a new style. So she was kind of she dreaded or she twisted up the dreads like normal, but then you could see she also bundled up little
braided them. Yeah.
Yeah, braided them, has the rubber band at the end.
Yeah.
And that was just to make it easier to dry. But I decided, I was like, nah, let me just rock it and keep it going. So it's kind of a new situation.
Style for you.
And
Yeah.
it's,
Does it hurt though? Because like when
yeah,
I've been to
super
a
painful.
I've been to a loctician. I
Yeah.
started my dreads with 2 trans twists, so I went to a loctician then, and I've been maybe 2 times since. I'm not a big fan of like, I do my own nails, like I twist my own hair. I don't like people touching me.
No, I hear that.
Yeah, but
No, I respect that. I feel it's important to know how to do your own hair. So I
Yeah, I
definitely,
feel you.
if I was ever away for a while, I'd still have the idea how to do it. But I kind of have like a personal relationship with that stylist. So I go back because I enjoy that company.
I always felt like the styles were painful. Like I don't have the patience or like the mental like
Yeah.
when it starts to hurt, I just take it out. So
It is a discipline thing for sure, you know.
Yeah,
But
discipline.
it's gradual. So I got this done a week ago. I think the first 2 nights is very difficult to sleep because laying my head on the ground on the pillow or whatever was painful. But you know, it's all part of the process. It's like you take the good and the bad with it. So
Yeah,
now
and
now
it's gonna come
comfortable.
out curly.
Yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
the
be
best
so
part.
pretty. Okay, more questions I have. So you can either say you can say I plead the fifth, or you can answer.
Yeah. All
We're
right,
gonna
let's hear it.
do it like kind of quick fire, so 1 sentence answers.
Mm.
Do you believe in God?
I plead the fifth.
How many times have
That's
you
a
been
heavy
in
one.
love?
What's that?
How many times have you been in love?
Oh, that's too many. Too many.
Too many. Wow. Okay. I have 2.
That's probably more manageable. That's good.
Yeah, and I do believe in God. I mean, it's a conversation about what God is. I don't believe in white Anglo-Saxon God, but I believe in the universe. So,
No.
who's
To
your
speak to
favorite?
that. Oh, never mind. I'll
You want to
get
talk
to
about
that.
it? You want to talk about it?
No.
Okay.
No. I was just gonna get the disclaimer. I don't believe in talking about whether I believe in God.
I
In
feel you.
public.
I feel you.
These words, God, spirituality, this, that, they mean such different things to different people. So I prefer, like, I think when you have something of value to you, sometimes it's better to like keep it safe instead of like letting people all talk about it. So that's what I feel.
I feel you. I think especially because at Yale, I encountered a lot of. Well, I went into Yale as an agnostic. And I feel like, for me personally, agnostic is the most logical thing to be, because how could you possibly know? I choose God in my life. And I feel you when you say you don't want to talk about it, because I know that it can be alienating. Like, I have atheist friends who think it's dumb to believe in God, right? So they actually actively judge you for your personal belief. But, I mean, I don't care, so whatever.
Yeah, I'm not worried about being thought of as dumb or thought of as this or that. Like, I'm not too concerned with someone's opinion about me on that front, but I'm more worried about being misrepresented. You understand?
Yeah.
Trying to express what I believe, and someone just hears something entirely different.
Yeah.
So those conversations are reserved for like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., like drinking a beer, looking at the moon. My parents came from different religious backgrounds because they came from different cultural backgrounds. Like my father was raised Christian in Detroit, and my mother was raised Jewish in near Philadelphia. So all I could speak to that is just to say that I had a wide view of a lot of different things going on, and I value that because it gave me a chance to pick my own path, since nothing was really ever force-fed.
Yeah, that's funny because I'm the same. My mom was raised Christian, her mother is Catholic, and my dad is Muslim. He would tell you he's Muslim. So that's why my last name is what it is, because his father converted to Islam in like the 80s. And changed his name. Who is your favorite person?
No, yeah, Jimi Hendrix. That's my favorite person.
Oh, that's a good one.
He wouldn't be.
Especially because you're a musician, right?
Yeah, I'm a music. I do music.
So, do you rap? You sing, or what do you do?
It started from doing poetry, and that transition into doing different verses and getting into like the hip hop lyric side of it. And then more recently getting kind of into vocal, being more a vocalist. But I just really like words. So I was always into hip hop since I grew up, and so now it's fun to play around with that and network with other musicians and artists, see what we can create.
Yeah, sorry. I think there's a delay a little bit, but For me, it was like I grew up in a very different place than my parents grew up. My dad grew up in Brownsville. My mom grew up in the hood in Providence, Rhode Island. So there was always like rap music and there was always like R&B in my house, but it wasn't speaking to my experience. And yeah, I still fell deeply in love with it. And so I was like the quote unquote Oreo in class that knew all the Jay-Z rap lyrics. And I've been in love with hip hop my whole life. So yeah. Okay, quick fire round. So you said Jimi Hendrix. That's a good answer.
Yeah, that's my favorite person.
Yeah, my favorite people are my little brother and sister. My little brother Jabari Nerdine is a Rubik's Cube master. And my little sister Makeda Nerdine is a feminist, independent woman.
Nice.
Okay, so where are you from?
Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut, went to school in Boston, and then kind of traveled around, but I've always been pretty settled in the Northeast in New England. That's where my people are.
So I was gonna say, where are your people from? So why Harvard and not Yale?
To get away from home just for a little bit and get a different perspective, and I'm glad I did, because now I'm back here and I can enjoy New Haven all the more.
I feel you.
I haven't been away.
Some people treat their hair like it's my babies. Like my babies are this long. Like happy birthday. Is your hair its own being? Is your hair a part of you?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, in general, if you ask me about my attitude to most things, it's kind of like, like live and let live. Just let things happen. Like, let life unfold. I'm kind of just along for the ride.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
My hair. Can I say my hair?
Yes, you can say your hair on the hair channel. Okay, how many languages can you speak? Oh, how many languages are you fluent in? And then how many languages can you say a sentence in?
Oh, word. Yeah, there's a big difference there. For me, I've traveled a little bit, and I'm really thankful for that opportunity to have gone to a few places. And the way I learn and the way I, process information is kind of like a sponge, so that I could get the language pretty quickly, but then it'll slip away just as quickly when I don't use it. I've been to France a couple times, and I was like, I could speak functionally there, but I don't remember now. It's like it's somewhere in there. And same thing, I've been to China a few times. So that's the last time I went to China. I traveled on my own, so I had to be able to get by and I was fluent, like functionally fluent. But if you don't use it, you lose it. So I don't think I could claim those languages.
我们可以用中文吗？我们可以跟我一起说中文吗？
对，我听得懂你说的话。
太好了。Well, this is my
but it's
roommate
been a
Leah.
long time. I'm
This
out
is
of practice.
Hey, you don't want to say hi?
Oh, am I not in the camera? Oh.
This is Leah.
Hey.
Leah Teake.
Nice to meet you.
对，他住在中国多少年？
Yeah.
多少年？
谁？
How many years? 多少年？
我
Yeah, 你。
你问我，我去过中国3次，我去过3次。
哦。
对，for 3个夏天，so 差不多27次。Can I say 20 weeks or so total?
Cool.
Wow, that's a long time.
你就在中国什么地方？你就在中国什么地方？
我去过北京、上海，but I also went to 我去过武当山的武当 Mountains for practicing kung fu.
Oh, yeah, you should see the pictures.
That
They're
is
cool.
awesome.
But yeah, we're doing a Skype interview, so.
Oh, sorry, I will let you do that.
Your Chinese is amazing. Tai Hala. How old are you? 你几岁吗？
Well, I'm in my 20s, mid or so.
Okay. Finally, give us your elevator pitch. Like, this is it. This is the final. This is the moment. This is your moment to shine.
Oh, yeah. Elevator pitch. I don't have much to say. I feel like, life is so vast and mysterious, and there's good and bad to everyone's day and everyone's life. So it's just good to try and choose the good. So like, if you can find something to value and be happy about, you should. So I value my hair, and I try and take care of it. You can value whatever, but I say wherever you can find something worth being excited about and being positive about, that's worth focusing on. So I try and do that, and I'm happy when others try and do the same.
Get cops making stops every time I try and go like a pyramid, lighting up a square and then I'm sharing it with anybody here who's feeling it. And I swear like a spear, all these dreams are taking shape while your mother pluckers waiting for lady luck. I'm taking feet by the horns, never had the patience to be patient, rather be operating at a higher rate, be loaded like a dock and boost my salary. Even if I don't ever make pop smiles, still make my mother and other greats proud of me. Sultry vocals, I like when shorty opens up her two lips, very flowery, she got the poetry. Phony homies try and get a rise out of me, but I be on the rise like the bread I stack, towering. Shit, don't forget to flour me and add some yeast. Claim you came to feast, but then got no fame, delivering these whole grain bars. Got the whole game far from figured out.
Locks unloaded.